On today's primary race, let's bring in CBS News politics reporter Aaron Navarro. Aaron, so Liz Cheney's in a tough spot tonight. House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy has said he thinks she will lose, and he called the race a referendum on the January 6th committee. If she does lose her primary, does she still have a place in the Republican Party, according to what you're hearing from your sources?
Hi, thanks for having me. I would say she does, but it's a small place, especially if she does lose tonight. There are other Republicans that have been as publicly anti-Trump as Cheney has, but it's only a few. Maryland Governor Larry Hogan, a potential 2024 candidate for president, is another Republican in mind that's in that same lane as Cheney. But Cheney, while she has taken this very symbolic fight against President Trump, is a conservative. Her voting record in the past suggests that, even if she has voted on a more bipartisan level in recent weeks. And as Bob just noted, she is a fundraising force. Her profile has been elevated to a national level because of her role in the January 6th committee, so I would expect her to continue using that as a Republican, even if she loses tonight.
Aaron, Alaska also has its primaries today. Former governor and Republican vice presidential nominee Sarah Palin is in the special election to fill the seat of late Congressman Don Young. But some voters are skeptical that she's been more focused on raising her own national profile instead of serving them. Could we see Sarah Palin heading to Congress?
Given her profile, as you mentioned, it is likely we will see her in Congress, but it'll be tight. The ranked choice voting system in Alaska would allow a Republican like Palin to claim those second and third choice votes, even if the Democratic candidate in the race, state legislator Mary Peltola, gets the most first choice votes, which polls so far have suggested. But polls also suggest Palin has not solidified Republican support. Another GOP candidate on the ballot, Nick Begich, has been polling neck and neck with her and is within that margin of error. So whoever wins tonight will fill the seat of the late Don Young for the rest of his term this session of Congress. Palin is also on the ballot for the primary to fill the seat of Don Young in the next session of Congress. So it is likely we'll see her win the race tonight, but it'll take a couple days for those ranked choice votes to be solidified.
And what are the odds that she actually wins the seat outright in an actual election?
Tonight, polls have not suggested that anyone is going to reach that 50% number. In fact, the polls so far for the special election tonight show the Democrat getting the most first choice votes. So it's unlikely we will see a result tonight, per se, but we will see.
Alaska's Republican Senator Lisa Murkowski also faces a crowded primary tonight. Is her seat at risk?
I would say so. Trump has backed Kelly Tshibaka in this race and has made Murkowski a big target. He held a rally in Alaska earlier this summer where he was really targeting Murkowski. Now, Murkowski just has to make it to the top four tonight where she can get through to the general in November. But Murkowski is known as that swing vote. Republicans have said that she has, quote, enabled Democrats. But when you look at polls and when polls account for the ranked choice vote system in Alaska, it shows her ahead, but only barely on Tshibaka. And that could be a benefit of the ranked choice voting system, which some Trump critics have blamed Murkowski for pushing to get instilled.
We're also looking at some down-ballot races in Wyoming. So-called election integrity has become a big theme in the Republican primary for the Secretary of State. And obviously that's important because they're the ones who certify those electoral votes in state elections and in the national elections. Aaron, so what can you tell us about it?
The Secretary of State position is the second highest office in Wyoming's executive branch behind the governor. Trump has backed State Representative Chuck Gray for this position. Gray supports a ban on absentee ballot drop boxes and, quote, ballot harvesting, and he helped get the state's new voter ID requirement passed in July. And he also believes, like Trump does, that the 2020 election was stolen. There are two other candidates running in this primary, State Senator Tara Nethercott, who is backed by Wyoming Senator Cynthia Loomis, and geologist Mark Armstrong. And I would note in this conversation about election deniers, the fact that Wyoming allows voters to switch parties on election day, it has already, in the chatter online amongst far-right communities, suggested that there could be some type of rigged system in case Cheney makes this tighter, even wins tonight. So that's one thing I'm going to be watching today.
All right, a big day there. Aaron Navarro, thanks so much.